Hello again. Welcome to another edition of Media Watch. I'm your co-host, Eric Tate,
I'm Raymond Peterson.
I'm Bob Anthony.
And I'm Alan Singer.
educator, historian, Dr. Alan Singer, Media Watch regular, with us when we do this current session of Media Watch, and we're doing it till Wednesday. I believe it's December 3rd, the
That's correct. Yep.
Wednesday before the evening they'll be lighting the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center. And hey, at least that's some kind of sane tradition that's being propagated. What we're going to talk about is the insanity that we're all living under right now in 21st century United States of America. And this is being brought to you by the good graces of EVT Educational Productions, all of us here, and should air on Manhattan Neighborhood Network next Monday, which would be Monday, December 8th, which actually happens to be my birthday. But that's another thing for another time. But what is the craziest, most
You're asking a question that we won't be able to answer.
Really, because there's so many things. What's the craziest thing?
I mean, we could sit here and listen. Yeah.
Why don't we start with the media crazy stuff?
well, yeah, which basically boils down to everything that's yeah. Okay, Bob, you texted us something. The latest craziness about the wacko in the White House. Jump in.
Well, I mean, recently, and I don't know how many days ago he did this, the White House started up what they call a media offenders website, where they list the media outlets they feel are delivering fake news. I hate to say that because he uses that phrase all the time, and he lists stories. He goes after people, and the website is just goes opposite to, I guess he never read the First Amendment. The media offenders website is basically one of the most offensive things I've seen to go against the media in a while. So the charter members of the website are CBS News, The Independent, and what was the other one?
Boston Globe.
Boston Globe, correct. Thank you, Alan. And yeah, and a number of media groups have already come out against this site, including SPJ, which wrote directly to Caroline Leavitt. But that's all you need to know about how much effect it'll have on the White House, which is none. So this was it targets outlets, it targets individual people, and it's dangerous because the MAGA supporters may take this as a cue to go after the people listed.
So instead of just him verbally assaulting people, we can get back around to that. Alan, you were talking about him again verbally assaulting one of CBS's veteran correspondents.
Yeah.
Jump in on that one.
I just want to add to what Bob said. This is not a Trump website. This is the official White House website. He is doing this on the government dime. And that's
You're right. It's an official site. Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, no. On Thanksgiving Day, basically Trump was unhinged. He angrily and repeatedly called Nancy Cordes, who is the chief White House correspondent for CBS News, stupid during a press conference because she asked him a question he didn't like about the suspected shooter of the National Guard soldiers in Washington, D.C. The suspected shooter, Ramulula, I'm not sure, Ramulula Lakanwal, was admitted to the United States from Afghanistan because he worked with a CIA-sponsored death squad there during the war. Now, Trump claimed he wasn't vetted by the Biden administration, and because of the attack, Trump has ramped up bans on immigrants and admission of refugees. Now, CODIS explained to Trump that he was vetted by the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, and that he was cleared for admission into the United States. Trump's response was, "Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? You're just asking questions because you are a stupid person." Now, Cordes has a degree from the University of Pennsylvania and a master's degree from Princeton. Trump hates her because she led coverage from Capitol Hill when the rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol in January 2021, and when Trump was brought up on impeachment charges twice. Now, the reality is that Lachenwal was admitted to the United States under Operation Allies during the Biden administration, but that was part of an agreement that the Trump administration negotiated with the Taliban. But not only that, he did not receive asylum in the United States until April 2025, when it was approved under Trump's presidency by his appointee, Kristi Noem, who was head of Homeland Security. So Trump is calling us stupid to cover his own tracks, his own participation in the admission of this guy into the United States.
And Nancy Cordes is a former, when I was president of the Deadline Club, which is the New York chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists, Nancy Cordes was part of our board. She's a high quality, top notch journalist. When it comes to accuracy, Nancy's one of the best. And I say that not just because I know her, because she is.
When you're insecure and you're facing a female who's actually quite good at her job, who actually, I don't know, her last name is Cordes. That means she may be of Hispanic heritage.
No, that's a married name.
He may be whatever, but he's fearful of women. He's afraid of brown women. He's afraid of any powerful women. And so he always calls them stupid or piggy or what other insults. We'll circle back around, but he just called Ilhan Omar garbage. But Bob, the website, if you've got that handy, let's take a look at this quote on the taxpayer's dime website that's probably in violation of whatever law that says you can't be doing stuff that's contrary to the Constitution and the First Amendment and any of the Bill of Rights stuff. But he's disregarding that anyway and putting up this kind of website. Bob, if we could show some of that website and some of the stuff that they have.
Now, this is the video that comes up as you get on the site. I'm just showing.
Do you have the cover page? Do you
Order.
have the cover page?
I'll bring up the cover page. Do you want to do the video first, or?
Yeah, do the cover page so folks can see exactly what it says and then go right to the video.
Okay, I'll have to stop sharing at the moment, though.
No, just go with the video then.
Okay. All right. Let me double back.
But this is the website that the White House has put up on the official White House website.
See if I can.
The United States of America.
Yeah, so this is the video that comes up, and I have a way to get us back real quickly.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
The president has never given an illegal order. These people know what they are doing.
And let's see if I can. All right, I'm going to stop sharing so I can go back. And yeah, that's the video that comes up. But continue, and I'll bring up the page as you speak.
Yeah, while we're just that last statement, the president has never given an illegal order. Well, the president evidently gave an illegal order to Pete Hegseth, who assiduously followed that illegal order and decided he'd be blowing these boats out of the water in the Caribbean and the Pacific Ocean. And as a result, what we have been harping on and Media Watch for the last month and a half, since September, if I remember correctly, the rest of them have now jumped on board because the latest Washington Post report came out stating that, yeah, guess what? They actually blew 2 people out of the water after the first strike because Pete Hegseth said, kill them all. So now they're now talking about war crimes and an investigation of war crimes. But This, I take it, is the
It's just
homepage
the
of the
website,
website.
just to show you what the front page says. Then it goes to the video, and then it goes to a list of what they call fake news.
Yeah.
So continue, and I'll pull up the video, which I think you want me to pull up next.
Yeah, so the misleading, the fake news on that website, uh, I, I think they went after Mark Kelly because he was in that video. And so they said, one, they ought to be executed. Okay, so now these are congressional people who are actually quoting our own UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice, that tells military people they have every right to refuse an illegal order given by any commander, including the commander in chief. They have every right to refuse and not follow it. And they're reminding people of that. And the White House is lying about saying that they're committing sedition and fomenting seditious behavior by telling people not to follow legal orders. And that was a big lie because they didn't say don't follow legal orders. They said, as you saw in the video, that they actually tried to use to claim sedition. You have every right to refuse an illegal order.
No, not just a right. You have a duty
Duty.
to refuse. It says duty.
That is
This
correct.
is Article
That is correct.
9092.
That is correct. You are actually required. And now, Bob, you're bringing up something that just lead up to it.
Well, this is what Pete Hegseth said in April 2016. Somebody, a number of
He
news
was
outlets.
working for Fox News somewhere, someplace, I believe. Yeah, I think
Correct,
so.
correct. And right, I mean, just like a lot of the Fox people that Trump has employed. But I'll just let you listen to what he said on April 2016.
I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. There's a standard, there's an ethos, there's a belief that we are above what so many things that our enemies or others would do.
Andrew, I know you reached out to the White House. You reached
God, was that treasonous? Was that sedition?
Really.
Under the current rules, yes.
Right. I don't think Joe Biden or, let's see, 2016.
Obama, Obama was still president.
No, in 2016. Wasn't that Trump's first term?
Trump was elected in November of 2016.
Oh, okay. All right. So
He-
Obama didn't
he's
call
attacked-
that seditious.
Yeah.
But Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump are now calling what Pete Hegseth said back then treasonous and seditious. So that's the craziness that we're dealing with. That is the craziness that these people have taken. What was that? The Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole? The Jabberwocky. I mean, I'm running all these crazy.
I think it's the pill. One pill makes you larger, one pill makes you small.
I mean, Ray, we've had this conversation before about being afraid to wake up and turn on the news. You know,
No, this is bizarre.
It is bizarre.
So look, that's just example one of the craziness. Example two, what happened in that recent press conference, the 3-hour press conference, that the whacked out guy who sitting in the White House holds so they can suck up lick his behind and kowtow and feed him all kinds of stupid ass compliments. That was just last week, right? A 3-hour press conference where who wants to comment on how crazy that was about Somalis and Ilhan Omar? Somebody jump in.
I wish I could, but I have to admit I didn't see it because I don't like listening to that guy.
I didn't see it either, Ray, but it sounds like a speech that Fidel Castro would have made, because his would go on for like 5 hours, full of fluff. And
True.
What he's saying is we don't want these people here. And he specifically attacked Somalis in Minnesota. Now, my understanding is 90% of Somalis in Minnesota are now U.S. citizens. But what they've done with the refugee is clearly points out who these people are. The United States has now stopped all refugees into the United States, claiming that they have to be better vetted because of this one person attack in Washington. But one group is exempted from the ban, white people from South Africa,
Yeah.
because they will fit in and they bring what we want here. Well, what he wants here. This is insane.
So he calls Ilhan's Omar garbage, just flat outright. Just calls her garbage. And then he turns around and calls all the Somalis that came in, whether they're in New Orleans, whether they're in Minnesota, whether they're in St. Paul, wherever. He calls all of them garbage. And so this is the man that's sitting in the White House, who is supposedly, allegedly, and I say allegedly, the president of these United States. But he's the guy who's calling for assassination, execution of Congress people who tell service people they have every right to live up to their oath to the Constitution and not obey illegal orders. He calls for their execution, calls their actions seditious. And then he calls another sitting congresswoman garbage because he doesn't like her. He doesn't like the fact that she stands up to him. And then he calls all people from that country garbage. And he doesn't want any of them in this country, any of them in this country.
I have the quote, Eric. After he called Congress Representative Omar garbage, he said Somalis should go back to where they came from. I don't want them in our country. I'll be honest with you. Somebody will say that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and I don't want them in our country. He just went on and on and on, ranting about this.
A raving lunatic.
Now, Eric, I remember in his first term, you were talking about Trump and his dog whistle, which would signal to his backers what he wanted them to do. Now he's not using a dog whistle. It's like a referee's whistle. We can all hear it. He's saying he's spouting his racism and misogyny out loud. So it's not a dog whistle. It's a referee's whistle. We can all hear it. And yet Republicans aren't calling him out.
No, they're not, because they're part of the lunacy. This is a man who should already have been brought up on impeachment charges for stuff that he's done from the first week in office. But if you mention impeaching this man, everybody looks at you as if you're crazy. But he has taken this country down a total Jabberwocky rat hole. A rat hole of immorality and craziness.
No.
And the Republicans are just sucking right up to him, including all those quotes and praises. What you should have done was make a list of how many suck-up praises those cabinet members laid on him in that 3-hour meeting, so the people out there who didn't listen to it and didn't hear it would understand how crazy this nonsense is. They're sitting there, grown men, making this man, the old emperor has no clothes, ugly, immoral, hideously racist, and they're calling him the Messiah who walks on water.
No. This statement he's
Yeah,
made,
well, you know,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ray.
no, I was just going to say of course they do that, because they all are looking to further their careers somehow, and they know that they can get whatever they want by flattering this guy. You kiss this man's behind and he'll give you anything. And that's a fact. I mean, we've seen it. You don't have to document it because it's all over the news. When he's asked about actions that he's taken, why did he take the act? Well, because so-and-so said that that's what's happening. You know, then so-and-so said that that guy's a criminal, and that's why we had him locked up. He doesn't have any thoughts of his own. He has no fucking original idea.
Yeah,
It all comes from somebody else.
that brings us to craziness number 3. Okay, so we're killing these boat people in the Caribbean and off Venezuela and the Pacific because they're running drugs into the United States of America. So,
And what does he do?
tell us what he just did, please.
He just released a man who is supposedly, now I don't know if there is proof of this.
He was convicted, Raymond.
He was convicted.
Yeah,
He was convicted.
Oh, he was. That's true.
Give
He
us
was
the
convicted.
full
That's why
story.
he was in jail. I don't know the full story. I don't know where he came from. I mean,
The president of Honduras, who the United States tried, convicted of running tons of drugs into this country.
Right. And
The Biden administration actually nabbed him, tried him, jailed him. And what does this guy do? He pardons him.
Yep.
Why does he pardon him? Because the man's ill-gotten gains had money that could hire a Washington, D.C. lobbying firm who then lobbied this grifter that's sitting in the White House for a pardon. And so money that's ill-gotten, dumping drugs into this country, buys this drug-running ex-president a pardon from the asshole who is ordering a dodo of a supposed Secretary of Defense to kill people without a trial.
Now, the family of one of the fishermen is now suing the United States for his murder. So that's going to come out in the next couple of days. But there are echoes of Nazism in what Trump is doing with immigrants. In 2023,
I'm glad you said that, Alan.
Yeah, he actually he said that these people are poisoning the blood of our country. Now, this was a blood libel that the Nazis used against the Jews. I mean, this is not acceptable in any sense of the word.
Craziness. That's our umbrella. We're trying to alert the American people that we are a country that has been turned into a lunatic, insane asylum by a lunatic that's sitting in the White House.
And Eric, you sent around the email, and I happened to read it too. Heather Cox Richardson's latest newsletter. I would just suggest that people read that, and she goes into detail about the insanity of how he's been acting lately. And there's no other word you can use. It's he's there. He's lost it, and she details it.
Okay, here's another example. You guys can correct me or add to it. He puts on Truth Social, we need justice. Why is Comey not in jail? Why X, Y, and Z? X, Y, and Z, justice needs to be served. He tells a U.S. attorney, go after Comey, go after Letitia James. Crazy White House guy wants vengeance, says do that. The U.S. attorney says, no, I'm not doing that because I can't find any evidence that's worth prosecuting anybody that you want me to prosecute. What does he do? He fires that guy, correct? Am I telling tales out of school? No, he fires that guy. He hires somebody who used to be a beauty queen. I don't know what else she became after a beauty queen. She was a lawyer, some corporate lawyer, never tried any case. He tells her, do what I want you to do. She files, she gets a grand jury impaneled, and she's the only U.S. attorney doing that impaneling, which not real protocol. And she brings in an indictment against James Comey and Letitia James, just like the wacko in the White House said to do. A judge just said, that person you sent there to do this is not properly impaneled. She is not even a correct appointment. Only a stupid lunatic would do that. And only a stupid lunatic following a stupid lunatic would bring in that indictment. When I say we are a country being run by crazies, stupid juvenile crazies, that's what we are. Okay?
Eric, wait, Monday night, starting at 7 p.m. to midnight, Trump posted on Truth Social 160 times. This is the man who's supposedly in charge of the country. He just had a rampage on Truth Social. I mean, His thumbs must have been swollen. His brain must have been breaking. I mean, this is beyond belief.
And with that, we have about 2.5 minutes left. Go ahead.
Raymond,
Yes.
you had another example of craziness having to do with RFK or whatever. I forget, the health guy.
Yeah, no, well, he's
I mean,
I
look,
mean, what more can I say? What we were talking about, the removing, what kind of salt is that? That's a catalyst.
just the people he's appointing.
Aluminum salt.
Aluminum salts, and I don't get it. It facilitates the vaccine's effectiveness, but they're saying now take it out of the vaccine and give it at an unspecified date, but after the fact. Do the original vaccine, which now is not going to be effective because it doesn't have the catalyst with it. So even if they do add the catalyst later, you've gotten a lesser amount of the vaccine, probably not as effective as it would have been in the first place. So we're talking about killing people. You think you're vaccinated against something, so you're not going to be all that cautious about avoiding getting that particular disease or whatever it may be, but you're going to get it anyway because you didn't get the full vaccine or you didn't get the vaccine effectively.
Yeah.
So
the other thing is,
Go ahead, Alan.
that amount of aluminum salt that's in the vaccine is the equivalent to the amount that is in a quart of instant formula. So kids are getting it anyway.
And they're getting it anyway.
It's just like getting with the vaccine. It also appears in mother's breast milk. I mean,
it's insane.
Duh.
It's sad when laymen like us can outfigure the medical leaders in this country. And with that, we have about 30 seconds. Go ahead.
So the guy that he appointed to now run the vaccine stuff for the CDC or our health agency is a guy who's been an anti-vaxxer all along, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So basically, the lunatic in the White House has appointed another lunatic to run the healthcare system for the country. So we're rapidly going down a rat hole of lunacy, thanks to people who evidently like racist white supremacists running the country.
And with
that, Taylor Green can't take him anymore.
All right.
With that, this has been Media Watch, folks. I'm your co-host, Eric Tait.
I'm Raymond Peterson.
I'm Alan Singer.
And I'm Bob Anthony. Catch up to us on YouTube at Media Watch EVT.
We'll catch you the next time, folks. Try to stay sane.